Good morning, dear students. I'm Miss Tania Poveda. I'm going to be your teacher in this class, Entrepreneurship 2. Welcome again. Well, before starting, it's very important that right now you make sure you have with you a pen or a pencil and some paper or a notebook just to take some notes. The rest of the year, you're going to use a folder. It can be the same folder you used the last year. I'm pretty sure you still have some paper sheets, and it's welcome, no problem. Well, we're going to start with market research. But before going to market research, it's very important we understand what a market is. So here on the right, in red letters, we have the question. What is a market? So we're going to start the definition of market research by parts. We're going to start with market, and then we continue with research, and then we do it together. So here we have a couple of definitions. It says, a market is a process and it exists when a group of buyers and sellers communicate to exchange goods and services. A market can exist in one place or in several places. And here's something very important. It can be virtual. Can you believe that? Yeah, like right now. We cannot go out, so we have to buy our stuff online. So that's how we call a virtual market. But here on the left, I'm using the definition of other students that study with me, and it says it's a group of people, possible clients. I want you to pay attention on this. Here we have a group of people, and here we have again group of buyers and sellers. So what do we have in common here between the definition I took from a dictionary and the definition that my students told me? Okay, good. It is group of people. Most of people say that a market is a place because immediately you think maybe in Mi Comisariato, Mega Maxi, places where you can go and buy. But actually, it's very important that we define that when we're talking about market research, we are talking about group of people. We are not talking about the place. We are not talking about the building or a shopping mall. We are talking about a group of people. It means if I want to sell a product, I have to know my market. It means my group of people, possible clients, so I can sell my product. I cannot sell the same product to all markets because all markets or all groups of people are different. Very important that. And that group of people, we call them buyers if we already have business with them, or they can be possible clients. Okay? So if I ask you, what is a market? What are you going to say? Okay, you can use your own words to define. You don't need to memorize the definition we have here with red and black letters. No. You can say it's a group of people, possible buyers, possible clients, people that want to buy our products, people that can use our services, etc. Remember that right now you are taking personal notes. Well, I found this one because I chose it because I found it interesting, and we have someone use their own definition. It says, remember we're talking about only market. It's a group of people. Here we have again the same expression, group of people. It's a group of people who share a purchasing desire, decision criteria, and demographic influences. What happened with this group of people? They want certain things the way they want them. It means something specific. It's a group of people that want something only the way they want it. No different than that. Good. Now let's go to the other part. Research. By now, we know that a market is a group of people. Good. And now we have this single word, research. But what is research? I would like you to think on words that you can connect with research, maybe synonyms. If we want to replace the word research, what kind of words do you think we can use? You can take notes. Remember, you have your folder or a notebook with you, so you can write it down. It's okay. Well, here in the next presentation, we have these little friends talking. So they ask, what are other words for conduct research? This is some of the answers. There are more answers than these. So don't limitate on these answers. If you have something different, but that you can connect with research, it's okay. So we can say that research is carry out trials, carry out tests, or the verb test, or the verb, the word trial, do test on, try out, assess. And something I like a lot is when my students use more common words that we already know. Maybe you can replace research by investigation. So you can say market investigation. That's okay. You can say market analysis. Very welcome. Because yes, you are using information to analyze. We're going to know about that later. Okay, did you match any of your words with these ones? Trials or test or assess? If you have different ones, keep them there in your folder. I would like you to share them with me later. Now, finally, we have two words. These two words together. What is market research? And finally, we have a whole definition. Market research is the process of, pay attention here. It's a process, first of all. A process of collecting, analyzing, and interpreting data about your target market. Consumers, competitors, and the industry as a whole. You got it? But I would like you to develop your own concept. This is something very sophisticated and kind of technical, but you can tell me something with your own words now that you know the definition of market and research. So maybe you made something like market research is to analyze a group of people. That's good. Or you may say that market research is to investigate or to collect information from possible clients. That's good. You don't need to memorize this. You can build your own concepts right now. Okay. Well, without reading the title of this section, it's kind of easy to identify what we have here. So we have a general view of types of markets. Hey, it says general view. It means that there are more specific things than this. There are other types of markets more specific, but this is a general view to understand better. Do you remember that I told you that markets are a group of people? Okay, well, so we have national market and international markets. On the left, we have our country. Because we live here, because we work here, and because maybe we have business here, we are going to call it national market or local market. Local means national, means in this country. So we can make business, we can work, we can buy and sell products and services only in Ecuador. And we have the whole national market. Or maybe we grow and we deal with other countries. In that case, if we are working together, making business with other countries around the world, all the countries around the world obviously except Ecuador, are going to be considered international markets. One question. Do you know countries that have business with Ecuador? Do you know international markets dealing with Ecuador products? Well, if you see in the map, it's pretty easy to identify the biggest countries. So yes, we have business with a lot of countries in the world. It means that yes, Ecuador is selling their products and services in international markets. They are selling things to United States, to Canada, to United Kingdom, to France, Italy, South Africa, etc. Okay, so again, this is a general view, and we have these types of markets: national, only inside the country, and international, selling our products to these other countries. Now, well, when I was preparing this class, I was paying attention to some words that maybe they are new for you. So it would be great if you have a dictionary and look after the definition. Look for the definition. But it's okay if you don't need it. We're going to check like really fast. Okay, so we're going to start with this one. Audience. What is the audience in a market research? It's your public. It's your group of people. That's it. Like when you go to the theater, you have people watching the play. These people clap after the play. They are watching, they are enjoying. These people are the audience, the public. In this case, again, audience is the group of people. These are very technical words. What about data? Well, data is like the collection of information. Like if I want to know how much I sold the last year, I have to go to my data, to my collection of information, and find out the answer. So in other words, it's your information, but very well organized, your data. Collection. Okay, do you have a collection of anything? Maybe you collect magnets. Maybe you collect pens. Well, there are all kinds of collections. It's like pick up. You collect. You have information all around you. In a market, it's really important you collect the necessary information to generate your data from your audience. Now that we know that we have a collection of information from your group of people or audience, okay, other word we need to know is analyze. Okay, what are we going to do with this? It means that the information is going to be into an analysis. For what? Because you need to take decisions. So this is an analysis. You study, you pay attention to details to take decisions. Well, evaluation is pretty much the same in Spanish. You evaluate, you decide again. You see if the information is useful or not. Well, other keyword is regulations. Regulations, maybe we can say laws or the rules. Remember that not all the markets are the same. So the regulations change from place to place, from a group of people to a different group of people. The regulations we have in Ecuador are not the same the regulations they have in Europe, for example. So when you are making business, you have to make sure that you are following the regulations of that place. Otherwise, you can have big troubles. Good. What is this? Foreign. When you go to other country, you are a foreigner. You are a foreign person. It means from other country. And the opposite, when a person from other country come to Ecuador, is considered a foreigner or a foreign person. Here we can use like foreign products. Maybe your cell phones are foreign products. The cars we drive, they are foreign products. Assessment. Assessment is other word to say test. So maybe it's easy to remember this short word, test. So we can have like mathematics test or a mathematics assessment is the same. Why do we have this as a keyword here? Because you are going to assess the market. You are going to try your product into the market to see if people like it or not. Currently, well, currently means right now. Like currently, we're watching this video. It means something is happening at the moment. Available. You probably know this word because in WhatsApp, sometimes when you are online, you can choose like available or not available. It means that you are there, or in this case, products or services are available. It means they exist. You can get them. Competitors. Well, it's very similar in Spanish too. And in competitors, I would like you to explain better with examples. So we have a lot of brands that compete for a piece of market, like every single day. Examples, Pepsi and Coca-Cola, for example. They are competitors. Both have similar products. Not exactly the same, but very similar. And both want to make money. Both want to sell their product. So they are constantly competing for a piece of market or for the whole market. Then we have this word, target. And pay attention, this is a word that you are going to use a lot. Maybe more than the other words here in this keywords slide. Target is something like objective. For example, if I say target market, I'm talking about a specific market. Example, I have a product that is only for women, maybe for teens between 12 and 15 years old. So that's my target market. Something very specific, a very specific market. And pay attention this word, pay attention the spelling too. Needs. Well, you probably know this as a verb. When you need something, you can also use it here like when your needs, the things that we need. Example, every living being needs air, water, shelter. Shelter, right? Yes, those are needs. Things that you need to live. Different than wants. You may want something, but maybe you don't need it. Like maybe you want a new cell phone, but yours is working really good. But you want a new one. Okay, so when you are selling products, you are curious about what your target, what your target market wants. Potential, I can tell that maybe something like possible. So we can say that a market is a group of possible clients, or a market is a group of potential clients, something that is possible. Okay? Now with these words, we are going to continue to this presentation here. Okay, how many steps do you see in this picture? 5, right? Make sure you are taking notes. Make sure you are taking notes of these 5 steps. What is this? This is a market research process. It's only 5 steps. It's kind of simple. The only thing that can be a little bit complicated is the collection of data. Because it's like the first step. So usually to start something is like the hardest part. Well, so let's check each step. Remember, this is the market research process. So we want to sell a product or a service. What do we do first? We collect information, or the keyword data. We have the first stage, data collection. How do you do it? Well, in one of our classes later, we're going to study different types to collect information. And here we have like these 2 guys, they are talking on the phone, so probably they are collecting information through the phone. What are we going to do with this data? We're going to process data. We're going to go to stage number 2, data processing. It means you collect a lot of information, surveys, interviews, focus group, well, a lot of information. So now you're going to process that data. This is stage number 2. It means you're going to classify. You're going to write down reports. And now with this information, we go to stage number 3. We're going to data analysis. It means all the questions, all the investigations, all the surveys, all the observations, no matter what kind of data collection process or method you use, you have to analyze that. When you analyze the information, you go to information evaluation. Here is like a very critical point, because these people sitting on the table, and I hope to see you someday sitting and taking decisions like that, they are going to define, they are going to decide if they are going to continue with this product or service or if not, or if they want to make changes, if they want to improve or to reduce something or to increase something. So here, they're going to evaluate the information. So is this information useful or not? How can I use this, etc. Once you are ready with the information, well, here you go to your client presentation. It means you are going to tell your client if your market is ready for your product or service, and how. How can they penetrate into this market? So these 5 simple stages or simple steps are very important to take decisions and to produce or reduce something or increase something. So you're going to take decisions, basically. Okay, I like this part because when you are working on a market research, you're going to find out a lot of information, a lot of information. These questions are only examples of questions that can be answered through a market research. For example, who are my target audience? Remember keywords. So who are my objective group of people? What do they need? Remember that markets are different. There are, for example, there are countries that are really cold, and they use a very specific type of clothes. It is something that maybe we don't need in Ecuador. So do we need in Ecuador to buy like very heavy clothes? No, we don't need it, but other countries do. So with this market research, you are going to find out these necessities of other markets, or maybe needs of our own market. Also, we can find what are their wants. The sales potential. Remember potential, it means possible. So we can find out potential, sales potential. Distribution channel. We're going to study this later, but basically is once I know this market wants my product or service, how am I going to distribute my product? I'm going to do it like door to door. I'm going to use supermarkets. I'm going to use online sites. Okay, why they will need or want my product and service? Why? Okay, maybe this is a new market, only young people, and they wanted something because it's fashion, it's trendy, even they don't need it. Or the opposite, maybe it's summertime and people needs to take vacations. So you can sell products for their vacations. It depends also market, and the market is moving the whole year, the whole time. So it also depends on seasons. So in that part, we can talk about maybe wants. Who will be our competitors? How do you identify a competitor? Well, it's kind of easy to identify because it's going to be someone with a very similar product than yours. Remember Coca-Cola and Pepsi? Maybe Nike and Adidas. So they have pretty much the same products, and that's why they compete for the market. So maybe you have your service or product and someone knows about you, that person is going to compete against you. How's the market environment? Is it a safe market? Is it an open market? How are the regulations in that country? So you have to know your environment, where you're going to sell your product. We continue with these questions. What can I do to make my product and service more attractive? When you collect information, when you talk to people, and when you listen to people, you may find out that your product maybe can be better than that. So if you improve it, you probably are going to sell more. Here we have, what are government rules and regulations in my target market? Okay, again, not all markets are the same. So the regulations we have in Ecuador are different than the regulations they have in any other countries around the world. So if we want to make business within a specific market, even here in Ecuador, sometimes market regulations change from one city to other city. And then we have other question. It says, what is the best entry strategy for my target market? Well, we're going to study about these strategies later, but basically knowing your market, knowing your people, or knowing your possible clients, you can create your own strategy to start business there. But that's why it's very important you know your market, your people. Okay, I chose these two cases about market research. It is cases where market research can be used. I would like you to read this loudly so you can practice a little bit reading, but I'm going to read for you. It says, we, foreign manufacturer, remember the word foreign, it means from other place, from other countries. So let's suppose that we are Ecuador. We are a foreign manufacturer that want to know if there is a market or possible clients in India for electronic products which operate on alternative energy systems. Can you tell us? Okay, so we are Ecuador and we want to sell a product in India, in other country. Well, we have here a research solution. In this case, an opportunity assessment study will be conducted to find out if there is a market in India for targeted products. Example, products which operate on alternative energy systems. In your opinion, from what you know about Ecuador and from what you know about India, do you think India will be a market for this kind of products? That's a personal question. You don't have to tell me the answer. Let's read case number 2. Okay, here we have, it says, I have a product which is superior to the products currently available in the market. Okay, so there are products now in the market and I have something better than that. Can you test and tell me if consumers also think so? So I think my product is better. Can you than others that are in the market right now? Remember that currently available means that they exist right now. Can you test and tell me if consumers also think so? Here we have the research solution. In this case, a product testing study will be conducted to find out how the targeted product fares in the market against its competitors. Okay, so we have a product apparently very similar than others, but we think that it's better, that this product is better than others. So when we go to the market research, we are going to find out if that's true or if it's only my idea or my desire. Let's think. Can you tell me other example about where market research can be used? Okay, I'm going to leave this here. Just think and let me know later. Other example about where market research can be used. I would like to know your opinion now. You can use your own words to answer this question. Remember that we are taking notes, so please don't forget to write down the information. I would like you to write down the answer of this question. It's very important to me to know what do you think. So it's your opinion. Can we use the same research for all markets? I'm asking you something that you can write down right now. Can we use the same research or the same market research for all markets? What do you think? Yes or no? Okay, remember that markets are the same or they are different, one from the other? Yes, they are different. They are different. Different regulations, different people, different culture, different religion, different needs, different wants. So based on markets, do you think that we can use the same research? If they are different, can we use the same research? This is the answer. No, you can't. And why not? Because not all markets are the same. Yes, we already know that. Market structure is based on 2 factors. One, differentiate or identical products. We have exactly same products, only different names. That's identical products. Or differentiate products. Like they are the same, but maybe product A have something different than product B. And that happens a lot with products we use at home. They are pretty much the same. The difference maybe is one ingredient or the size or the colors of the package. And the second factor is number of firms. It means competitors. Easy of entry into and exit from the market. If we have a lot of people or a lot of companies or firms or corporations selling the same product, do you think it's easy or difficult to entry into the market? If there is a lot, I don't think it's going to be too easy. Okay, and to finish, by now you might have something like this. Your notes. Remember I asked you to take notes? Make sure you're taking notes. This material should be in your folder. Okay, so in your notes that you are working right now, make sure you write down the date of today. Write down the date. This is the title of the class. And these are my personal notes. This is my handwriting. Okay, so make sure you have your notes to study later. Anyway, you can watch the video whenever you want, but it's much better if you take your own notes. So we have question like, what is a market? Other words for research. And now, what is market research? Types of markets, keywords. You don't need to write down the definition of each keyword. You only need the keywords. I'm pretty sure you remember the definitions. What is the market research process? Well, 1, you write down 1. 2, you write down 2. 3, 4, and 5. The question that I wanted to know your answer. Can we use same research for all markets? Yes or no? And why? Remember here, why? And that's it, guys. I hope that by now you learned something new. It's going to be very useful for your business life in the future, or maybe now, who knows? I'm really glad to be here with you. So enjoy your afternoon. Thank you and goodbye.